How's it going, everybody? Ragiroth here. So we now have 4 of the 5 DLC characters out or revealed for Smash Bros. Ultimate of the first season pass, then we got the second season pass. So there's, I guess, a character or characters from a certain series that I wanted to talk about that I would personally like to see added in the future that I think, I guess, a very divisive, maybe unpopular opinion choice. And that is someone from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now, the main reason that it might be an unpopular decision is because generally people seem to be tired of Fire Emblem characters in Smash. And I'm not totally disagreeing with that notion. There is a lot of them, and there's not a huge variety of among the characters that are in it already. So I know, just hear me out, though, of why I would like a character from Fire Emblem Three Houses in Smash Ultimate. So I guess I'm going to give 3, big reasons, and I'll kind of elaborate on them. So the first reason is, and not my strongest reason, but I'm going to say it anyway, is because Fire Emblem Three Houses is pretty awesome. Most people, I think, seem to agree with that. Critics seem to agree. Basically, everyone I hear talk about the game, for the most part, like it. And obviously, I know, there's going to be people that don't like it. There's tons of people that like games or movies that are very well received. It is definitely a much better received game overall than the last big game, Fire Emblem Fates. Now, I personally was fine with Fire Emblem Fates. I thought it was a decent game. It was not my favorite Fire Emblem, but I did like it. I think Fates was just a lot more divisive overall. I mean, the game itself was, divided. 3 versions, which already kind of maybe rubbed people the wrong way, and I think it kind of hurt the structure of the game a little bit. It was maybe a little too much. I know there was a lot of localization issues that I personally don't really care or know about, but I know a lot of people didn't like, and the whole, the relationships and all that stuff was, I think, a lot more controversial in that game than this game for the most part. It didn't help that people, I think, weren't that crazy about Corrin. Then we got him in Smash, or him/her as one of the last characters in Smash 4, and people were not having it because we already got so many Fire Emblem characters, and people already didn't like Corrin. It didn't help that Fates didn't even come out in America when Corrin was revealed, and I think even even when he came out, I think Fates didn't come out. It was about to come out basically, and people were not too thrilled about it. I was very mixed, not really because of Corrin, but I think I was just I was really bummed that we lost Wolf. And I really wanted Wolf back, and Fire Emblem already got so many characters, and Star Fox lost one of the characters, and I just needed Wolf. And of course, no, we had to get another Fire Emblem character, but it wasn't really anything against Corrin. It was just, Fire Emblem getting prioritized over another series that I wanted a character back from. And, that all kind of got remedied in Smash Ultimate anyway, because Wolf and everybody's back. But, no, Three Houses is generally a pretty well-received game. I personally love it. And I don't think that a game being good is what should determine if a character from it gets in Smash or not. But I'm also not on the opposite camp where if a game is bad, I don't think any character should be in the game or not. Even if the character is cool, it could offer a cool moveset or something like that. I just think this kind of would help it in this case. Just the overall great reception of the game in general. And, I like Corrin. I think he's not my favorite Fire Emblem character, but he was pretty cool and I think kind of unique. I personally think the characters I'm going to mention from Three Houses, I think I probably like more than Corrin, but that's neither here nor there. So that's basically reason number 1. It's a good game. The positive reception of it should help out a little bit. So then for reason number 2. Reason number 2 is because I think the characters that they would probably pick, any of the characters they would probably pick would be, I think, generally more unique than any of the other previous Fire Emblem characters in the game. Usually one of the main issues people have with the Fire Emblem characters is generally they have blue hair, they're male, and they wield a sword, specifically a broadsword. Now we have a couple characters that do break that tradition. I mean, we have Lucina, who has all those things except, she's a girl. Robin and Corrin, they have white hair. Their outfits, their aesthetics are pretty different. They do use a sword, but they do have other elements, like Corrin can turn into a dragon and stuff like that. It kind of has sort of a drill thing, and at least his sword's a freaking chainsaw too. That's kind of cool. And then Robin uses all these magic spells. He technically has 2 swords, the bronze sword and leaden sword. Granted, still not crazy differences, but even so. However, some of the characters they would probably pick, some of the potential characters, would probably use weapon styles that aren't really even used in Smash that much. So the 4 main characters, I think probably have a shot, and I think most people would agree with me on this, is Byleth, the Avatar character, Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude. Now, I guess for who I think is the most, well, I guess I'm going to probably talk about who I both want and I guess who I think is the most shot. The person that probably the most shot is probably Byleth. Generally, it seems like Sakurai chooses the Avatar character of the game first. They're always the main priority, it seems like, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I think in Awakening it kind of helped because, well, I do think Robin is really awesome. He's also a lot more unique than Chrom would be, and we still got Chrom even then later on as an Echo fighter, which was cool. Fates, I think, was kind of a missed opportunity because I know Corrin's cool. I personally, if I were to pick, I would have probably picked Ryoma. I really like Ryoma, and I think he'd finally be that kind of samurai katana wielder character. And plus he has the electricity affinity to his sword and all that. I mean, they could have picked Xander as well, but he'd probably be a little harder to work out. And I actually don't know who's more popular. Xander might be more popular. I could be wrong, but yeah, I think it's a good thing and a bad thing. In this case, I mean, on one hand, I really like Byleth. He/she looks. I think their design is great. I think their fighting style would be really cool because while they do use a sword, they would probably wield the Creator's sword, which can kind of turn into a whip blade, kind of like how Ivy has in Soul Calibur. Now, it just sucks because the other 3 characters, particularly Edelgard and Dimitri, use weapons that nobody in Smash primarily uses. I mean, yes, I know Edelgard uses an axe, and Simon and Richter do throw an axe, but that's not quite the same thing. So I think in terms of likeliness, it would probably be Byleth, and I would be kind of divided on that. But as for who I would think would be the best choice, well, so I think it would, I think between the other 3, I'm probably about to contradict myself here. Well, with Claude, okay, I like Claude. He might be my least favorite of the 3. The problem is, he would use, he uses a bow. He'd primarily use a bow. And there have been a couple characters in other fighting games that have primarily used a bow and arrow as their weapon. Main examples that come to mind are like Hawkeye from Marvel in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Or we even had Green Arrow in the Injustice games. So it's not like it can't be done, and Sakurai they're very creative. I'm sure they can make it work. However, we do have a couple characters that do kind of already use a bow, and then kind of the most primary way you can use it, just gonna pull and shoot it. Link, well, the Links, and Pit and Dark Pit, and there might be someone else I'm maybe not remembering right now. They could make him work, and I think he would still be cool. I just think the thing, like I said, with Edelgard and Dimitri, you have a weapon style that has not been used at all in Smash. And I mean, all 3 of these characters do not, and that even to a lesser extent with Byleth, all these characters look pretty different from the Fire Emblem characters we already have in Smash. That's another thing. Just if I just saw these characters and you didn't tell me what they were from, I don't know if I would have immediately guessed Fire Emblem. But a lot of the other Fire Emblem characters share more, I guess, aesthetics, mainly blue hair and all that. They at least these characters at least stand out a bit differently. So I guess what I'm probably saying is I think, while Claude I think would be a fine choice, I think more so Edelgard and Dimitri would be a little better. And there is admittedly some bias there. They are probably my 2 favorites of the 4 main characters. Because with Dimitri, okay, we'll talk about him. He's, he uses a spear, which nobody or Lance, whatever you want to call it, nobody in Smash really uses. And yeah, he has some similarities to other characters from Fire Emblem. I guess if you just gave him blue hair, he'd basically just kind of look like another Marth or something like that. It's funny because he doesn't have blue hair, but his primary color is blue, though. I guess the only thing with Dimitri, though, is I don't know if he's quite as popular as Edelgard. Even though I really don't agree with this character choice at all, there is a much more requested character being Smash that does use a spear. That's Bandana D from Kirby. I don't see the appeal to this character. But basically, one of these characters would get in. More so if Bandana D got in before Dimitri, and then Dimitri's added. I think it would kind of take away a lot of, I guess, the flair of him. He wouldn't seem as unique. I mean, he could still be unique, but I don't think he'd be as unique. But yeah, I think Dimitri would probably be the second best choice for this. So I guess what I'm kind of saying is I think overall Edelgard would be the best choice for Fire Emblem Three Houses. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's pretty popular, though I don't know if her popularity might have dipped after the game came out for character story reasons. I'm not sure on that. I think aesthetically she looks pretty different from the other Fire Emblem characters. I mean, yes, she has kind of white hair, I guess, like Robin and Corrin. But you know, there's only one other pure female Fire Emblem character, and that's Lucina. And Lucina shares a lot more similarities to like Marth and all of them, while Edelgard really doesn't. And again, she uses an axe, which no one in Smash really primarily uses. That automatically makes her more unique, at least in some way. And they could also use, I guess, the systems of Fire Emblem Three Houses in their movesets as well. Like, honestly, the thing is, they could probably use any weapon they wanted. However, I know how, or at least, I don't know, say I know how Sakurai is. We generally know what to expect from Sakurai with these kind of characters. Generally, if they primarily are known for using one type of a certain kind of weapon, he will probably only have them use primarily that kind of weapon. Because, like, in Fire Emblem Awakening, like, Chrom and Lucina were kind of associated with using a spear as well. I know their, like, kind of promoted classes could also use a spear. And they could have took advantage of that with Smash Brothers, but they didn't want to. I don't know why. I think it's kind of silly and limiting. Hell, even Project Cross Zone 2 had them kind of use, like, throwing spears in some of their moves. But I don't know, it's definitely kind of one of my like nitpicks or complaints that Sakurai has with characters here and there. But I just know, you know, because of that, I just know they're not going to have them be able to use probably a bunch of crazy weapons. Maybe they will, but I don't see it happening. So I think Edelgard, in terms of popularity, design, and moveset potential, I think she would be the best choice of the four. But I do think that Byleth probably has the most chances, just because of the traditions in the past. But maybe they'd want to break that tradition, and maybe they know people would be a little more pissed about Byleth because she is a little more similar to past Fire Emblem characters. Maybe they would break tradition and put in Edelgard, but I don't know. That's just what I think and what I would want. So now for the third reason, I think would be timing. Part of the problem is, like, after this Smash game, I think unless they decide to just keep porting Ultimate and adding new things, the roster is going to decrease, and I'm not looking forward to that. I am dreading that day, personally. I'm sure the next Smash game would be great still, but it's going to be a kick in the balls after Ultimate, I think. We're definitely going to lose characters. A lot of them are probably going to be characters I like. A lot of them are probably going to be cool third-party characters that we probably wouldn't have expected to see in Smash Brothers, probably at least. And it would kind of suck for us to get like a character from Three Houses, this awesome game with these awesome characters, in this game that, like, the roster is just not as epic. And I mean, admittedly, on the flip side, like, a character from there could be kind of a silver lining in a more dismal roster, we'll put it that way. But I would still prefer them to be kind of more in this grander celebration of characters than possibly a smaller one. And not only that, but here's the thing: like, you gotta have to look at like some of the Pokemon representation in this game. We don't have a Pokemon from each generation. We kind of skipped. Well, okay, we do have one from Gen 2, but it's a clone, Pichu. We don't have a Pokemon from Gen 3. We don't have a Pokemon from Gen 5. So, like, they might kind of, you know, we don't know when the next Smash is coming out. We don't know what the situation with Fire Emblem will be the next time this next Smash comes out. There could be a new game after Three Houses that came out that is going to come out either before or around the same time as the new Smash Brothers, and they might want to prioritize a character from that. Now, here's the thing. I think no matter what people want, no matter what people say, they're going to keep adding Fire Emblem characters at some point. Maybe not right now, but sometime down the road. They're going to keep adding characters from the new Fire Emblem. Now, we don't know what the main characters from the next game will be like. They could just go to the more traditional, like, kind of blue-haired lord kind of character. Now, they might skip over a character from Fire Emblem Three Houses. It might just be another character who uses the broadsword. Now, would you, knowing we're going to get another Fire Emblem character, would you really want that instead of a Fire Emblem Three Houses character that would probably be much more aesthetically different and unique? Now, okay, I could be wrong. Maybe characters after this game will be even more different and more diverse, but, I don't know. I'm just saying, what if? Isn't it better to just get the one that we know we like now as opposed to the one we might not like later? But I just think the timing would be better if they just kind of were in this game as opposed to the next game. But now I guess the thing is, Do I think we're going to get a Fire Emblem Three Houses character as DLC? I think if for the last character in the first Fighter's Pass, hell no. No way. I think the chances are incredibly slim. Incredibly slim. I think it seems like they just want to do at least third parties for this first season pass character. If it is a first party character, I think it has a high shot to be someone from the Three Houses, but I don't think it's a first party character. Now, the second Fighter's Pass, maybe. I think there's definitely a chance there. I mean, granted, I know there was the comment Sakurai made about wanting to bring more worlds into Smash Brothers. That could be interpreted in a bunch of different ways. It could have been a translation error. It could just mean that maybe most of the second Fighter's Pass will be third party, but maybe they'll sprinkle in a couple first party characters. I mean, technically, Three Houses would be kind of a new world. But yeah, I think, that's basically what I think. That's basically why I would like a character from Three Houses to be in the game, and I guess what I think their chances and which ones I think their chances are. So to sum it up, I think the game is considered great by me and many other people, and people, would be at least more okay with seeing a fairly well-represented game from Fire Emblem and Smash as opposed to a more divisive one. Not to mention, another thing I wanted to add is that at least Three Houses is already out everywhere. Everyone's got to play it. A character coming out now won't seem as much like an advertisement. They might still, but maybe not quite as much. Secondly, I think a character from it, at least the characters they most likely pick, look great, diverse, and would probably fight a lot more different than the characters we already have in Smash and Fire Emblem. Granted, they might still have a counter, but yeah, that's about it. And lastly, just timing. I just think it would be more epic to have a character from it in this game than another game, and I think if we were to wait to the next Smash game, then for all we know, it could be a character that may just not be as interesting because they maybe went with a more traditional route for whatever Fire Emblem game is after Three Houses. So yeah, that's about it. Again, I know, probably an unpopular opinion. People are probably so sick of Fire Emblem characters. Also, one other reason I just thought of is technically we didn't actually get a new unique Fire Emblem character in this game. The only we got is an Echo Fighter with Chrom, and he's a character that pretty much should have just been in Smash 4 anyway. So we have, unlike Pokemon, we haven't gotten a totally brand new Fire Emblem character that's unique and all. Just saying. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, this is just my opinion. I know it's probably not a super popular opinion. People are sick of Fire Emblem. It's just what I think, what I would like to see, what I think could happen. So thank you so much for checking out this video. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. It's a free country. Don't forget to check out my friend Mark Yoon in the description below. Don't forget to check out Mr. Anderson Plays Games in the description below. And lastly, another little announcement I wanted to make is that I actually did recently open up a Patreon. Now, I'm not going to be begging for money or anything like that. This is just me just trying it out, see how it goes. If I can maybe just get some extra support for the channel. Nothing big like that. I'm not expecting anything. I'm not going to call people out or constantly harp on it or anything like that. I just want to try it out and mention it. I don't really have any big stretch goals now. I will definitely give someone a shout out if I think I set it to $10. Maybe I'll even do $5. I don't know. That's just what I just went with for now. But like I said, I'm just trying it out. I've had this channel for it's been about 2 years actually. It's been about 2 years. I figured it was just worth trying out now. That's all. So if you want to support me, I'd greatly appreciate it. If not, no big deal, no pressure, anything like that. The link will be in the description below. So as I was saying, another time, another place. Keep being awesome.